comes down to this. After 7 weeks of regular season, 3 weeks of State of Origin, 10 whole weeks of SRL action, it's the last game of regular season for season 3. The Broncos at home, the Fortress at Suncorp, taking on the South Sydney Rabbitohs. What an absolute blockbuster we have to end the regular season. Sam Herbin poised to take on one of the best in the competition, his opposite Liam Ryan. Those two will be going head to head, both lethal at the back for their sides. It's the Broncos who will kick off. 80 minutes of action to decide the final 4 for season 3 as Justin plays, gets the game underway, and he hits it pretty well. Hits the crossbar, in fact, and the Rabbitohs struggle for a moment, and the Broncos chase, and Mason Remy's taken down at the 10. So a good start for the Broncos, but Jai Collins, the captain, an early error, just running straight over the sideline. I don't know what he was thinking. He's had a week off this week. The captain gave himself a holiday, went up the mountain, and at Towels he's ran straight up the sideline, heading straight back to the mountain as the Broncos pack it down on the 40.
Right, here's tackle 1. He's held there.
So a good opportunity for Brisbane to strike early as Jason Farah charges up through the middle. Easy meters for the prop, or for the lock for this evening. Farah usually finding himself in the number 9 jumper, in the number 13 tonight for the Broncos after that injury to Lennox Prakash last week. Herbin around Aaron O'Hare, taken down by his opposite. 5 metres out here the Broncos as Cahill goes long to his halves partner and Levi Raymond. 2 out here the Broncos. Final tackle, the first opportunity to test out that Rabbitohs back line as Tom O'Mac puts a little bit too much heat on it, and it trickles over the back of the in goal for the Rabbitohs to restart on the 20 as Rex Slattery has a good first run, breaks away from a couple of Broncos tackles. So as we look at the table as it stands, we come into this game after the Raiders have leaped over 2 sides, and they've moved into 4th in the competition standings on 6 points. Positive negative of 25 as Slattery once again busts through one, finds Remy on his outside. The big front rowers combining for South Sydney. Quick play the ball as well as O'Hare goes to Logan Guy, scored a couple of tries the other week. Doesn't look confident, looks like he's been held up by the Broncos defence as they reset on the 10. Crutcher on the toe. Liam Ryan looks as though he was offside, and so he didn't come through for the kick. Broncos collect well. So for the Rabbitohs tonight, they have the chance to move up into 2nd if they can win by 9 points. They can't move any lower than 3rd. Well, I mean, they technically can, but the Broncos are going to have to win by 44 if they're going to have any chance. As Raymond kicks, and Ryan heading backwards, this elusive fullback that South Sydney have, spent the first season at North Queensland. Moving to the Rabbitohs in season 2, forming a formidable and dangerous partnership with Jai Collins and Thomas Mendonca and Jason Laumu and the likes. And that's Crutcher, could be touched by a Brisbane player. It was Pete Veretto, stuck the mid out, and the Rabbitohs get a tackle recount as Mendonca cuts back on the inside and grabs an extra couple of metres. Good opening 7 or so minutes from Rex Slattery. That's his 4th run of the game. That's Drake. Up to the 20 they go, the Rabbitohs. And Guys inside to Remy, has the hands free, looking for a support player. Only Aaron O'Hare was around him, so he decides to hold on to it. Final tackle now. Around about 15 metres out, Crutcher will put it up. Ryan came through early. In fact, he probably came around a little bit too early. Justin Plays had the momentum and managed to get up and pinch it from him. What a performance we saw in game 1 earlier tonight. The Panthers' last game of the season, the Raiders needing an absolute blockbuster to have any chance in playing finals footy this season. And they've done the unthinkable, and they've leapfrogged 2 sides. Both the Broncos and the Warriors find themselves in 4th position. So as it stands at the moment, it'll be the Seagulls taking on the Cowboys in semi-final number 1, and then the Rabbitohs taking on the Raiders. The Broncos will know exactly what they need to do. It's pure and simple. They won't be too concerned about whether they get a home semi-final or not. They just need to win, and a mistake there from the Rabbitohs. A little bit of pressure being applied from the Broncos front row at the moment. Looks like it could be Jordan Ford and possibly Jack Spillane, who getting in the air of the likes of Ash Crutcher. Tackle 2, Diab goes deep to the right, finds Cahill. In the starting side this week, Jack Cahill in place of Cherry Evans as Weston slices through. Light on his feet, Tyler Weston, but the referee says held up. I wouldn't mind seeing that one again. It looked as though the Rabbitohs players could have let go of him, but the referee called it as Diab will go flat to Spillane. Jack Spillane taken down about 8 or 9 metres out. Diab back to the pocket for Raymond, to the wing of plays, or it could be Tom O'Mac. Mendonca, sorry, it was the wing of Michael Crimp. But no luck there, as the Rabbitohs did well in getting up for it. So 13 minutes gone here at Suncorp, still 0-0 between these 2 powerhouse sides. The Broncos, minor premiers in season 1. Missing out on the finals in season 2 after what was a disappointing season. Joey Kelly packing his bags at the end of season 2 and heading off to Parramatta, but the Broncos fans will be excited to see him back in season 4. Joined by Simon Hunt, Bo Sadler and a couple of other former Broncos players. They certainly are shaping up to be a premiership contender. But they have work to do at the moment, not thinking too far ahead. They're inside the Rabbitohs half at the moment. In fact, they're inside their red zone as Logan Clark plays the ball for Diab, just to the right or to the left of the uprights as they straighten it up through their halves. Jack Cahill to Ford this time. Thrown to the ground by Slattery as Diab goes right. Cahill gets it away. It's a good kick. Pete Barretto chasing for it. Slap back to Sam Herben. And Sam Herben looks to have opened the scoring. Has he? No. Referee calls knock on. And we're not going to get a replay, but that's a big tackle. But I'm not sure who it was at the back for South Sydney. The Broncos fullback looked to be in for all money. Good try-saving tackle. Could have been Liam Ryan or could have been Mason Remy, in fact. Lennox Prakash is up on the sideline, set to make his way onto the field any minute now. No, he's just sat down. Stephen Sheldon looks like he's about to come on. And Dan Mason, so Lennox Prakash got the call. And you're not needed right now, mate. Broncos hot on attack at the moment. They've got all the territory. In the opening 20 minutes, they've been hot on attack as Diab goes one way, goes the left, long ball out to Pete Veretto, the captain, through a hole, and the Rabbitohs have given away a penalty. Pete Veretto opts to take the 2 points. Obviously feels like this could be a close affair. Obviously these two sides have met twice before in the SRL. 1 win apiece. As Justin plays, does convert, shaves the inside of the right hand upright. And the Broncos have the first points of the game. As I mentioned, both sides have a win under their belts. The Broncos back in season 1. Too strong for the Rabbitohs, winning 18 points to 6. But then last season, the Rabbitohs reversing the fortunes. 2 tries to Luka Moscow.
Release. He's held there.
Rabbitohs winning that one 36 points to 6. Obviously going on to make the season 2 finals and beaten in the grand final by Manly. And they haven't pulled their foot off the accelerator all season, the Sea Eagles. Their win last night against the Warriors, a hard-fought one it was. Their 9th win in a row, 7 wins on the trot in season 3, adding to their semi-final and final. Actually, that was 11 wins in a row, sorry. Manly have won 11 wins on the trot. Quite an unbelievable record for a simulation sport where, let's be honest, as much as we think form might come into it, I don't know if it really does. We don't run the Simulation Rugby League in competition format on Rugby League Live 4. They're all just quick games, and there's a reason for that. As Crutcher puts it deep. Herbin hoping that it goes over the back of the end goal, and it does. Counting his cards there, Sam Herbin. As Raymond has fumbled it from the get-go. And on the first tackle, the Broncos have given up possession. So from the base of the scrum, Ryan decides to give it to Mendonca rather than running it himself. Playing a secondary role, possibly this afternoon. Thomas Mendonca playing in the centres, with Jackson Cutler moving out to the edge. They come near side. Edwards cut out pass to Ryan. Pete Veretto and Coda Diab wrap him up and throw him to the ground. A metre short here, the Rabbitohs. Edwards rushing up on him was Herbin. Isaac Edwards awfully close to the line. Play the ball. Dranigan push back and a good tackle. Final one here, the Rabbitohs. They go back to the pocket of Crutcher. Under pressure from Coda Diab. Gets it away and Mendonca takes it. Gets away from the first tackle. The Broncos players panic and have to swarm on him, but do a good job in the end. As the Broncos have given it away again. Second set in a row, they've given the ball away inside their own 20. This is frustrating for the Broncos coaching group.
That's your second.
So Liam Ryan will set it up about 17, 18 metres out centre field. They'll go to Logan Guys, who's had a pretty good run of form over the last few weeks. Couple of tries to his name so far this season. They go far side to the left. It's Cameron Relentless off the bench for his first run of the game. To Crutcher. He'll push his way to the line once again. It's the Broncos defence. So at the moment, Dranigan puts a kick in. It's come off the... It looks like it's come off the padding. And Dan Mason just pops into his hand. I think he was a little bit surprised about it. Facing the wrong way, had to pivot before the Rabbitohs players came down on him. So yeah, just going back to the form side of things in Rugby League Live 4. It would be good if we could actually run this competition as an actual competition within the game, but you can't actually add players to a squad once you're in competition mode, and you also can't apply upgrades or change any attributes. So that's the reason, as Ryan slices through some tiring Broncos defence. Only 28 minutes gone, but Liam Ryan will cross for the opening try of the game and put the Rabbitohs out in front. Off the back of nothing, really. The Broncos defence just crumbling in their communication, and Liam Ryan crushes for his third try of the season, 14th of his career. No concerns from Ash Crutcher from out in front. That's the Rabbitohs taking the lead away from home. A packed crowd here in Suncorp this evening. Broncos have had big crowds all season. Yet to get official numbers, but you'd have to say it'd be close to the 50,000 mark. So 29 minutes gone. It's the Rabbitohs who open the scoring. Well, it's the Rabbitohs who score the first try of the game after that Justin Plays conversion.
He's held there. Get off him.
Liam Ryan scoring from a long-range effort.
Held. Up now. 2 hands away. He's held there. 3. Back to 10.
The Rabbitohs look to make their way safely through their first set after scoring that try. It's a common theme we've seen starting to creep into some of the SRL sides, is not being able to secure the ball and get through those sets after scoring a try. It'd be quite concerning for some of those teams.
Right, here's tackle 1.
It's the simple things really that get you into an SRL final series. Jack Cahill's going to play the ball about 33 metres out. They'll go to Farah, who gets in that playmaker role he's so accustomed to. Is Veredo. Diab at the base of the scrum. Raymond looks to take the line on, and they go out to Cahill once again. He's forced back in a good tackle this time. It was Logan Guys who came over the top. Isaac Edwards up around the ankles. It's Farah to put it high. He is taking that playmaker role, but he's pushed a little bit too deep. And Liam Ryan takes it in the in goal, and the Rabbitohs will get a 7 tackle set from the 20.
0 tackle.
Rabbitohs would love to get a top 2 spot
That's his second. Hill.
with a win here tonight, or not just a win, but they need to win by You'd have to say a decent amount, so they get a penalty. Broncos players complaining that player was held down at the ruck by one of the Rabbitohs players.
That's one. Move. He's held there.
Here's Crutcher. Goes to Mendonca.
2 on the kick going.
Playing alongside Jai Collins on that left edge for South Sydney this evening.
3. Back with me.
Tackle 3, they stay short side as Crutcher goes wide out to Jai Collins, and the skipper crosses for 2 tries in 2 weeks. Got away from the diving tackle of Michael Crimp. Tough one from the sideline for Ash Crutcher. A little bit of wind behind the Rabbitohs in this first half. He looks to bring around, can't quite do so. The wind caught it, unsuccessful from the sideline. But it's the Rabbitohs coming up, 35 minutes gone in this first half, extending their lead here at Suncorp Stadium. 10 points to 2, that try to Jai Collins, his 4th of the season. Six tries in his career, and it's been a good move for Collins after spending the first 2 seasons in the second row, or the centres, majority in the centres for South Sydney, a couple of games in the second row. But really starting to find his spot on that left edge for South Sydney. It's not often you see a captain on the wing in the modern era, but it does seem to work for South Sydney. They've got their leadership team at the back as Edwards has found some space in behind the Broncos players.
Right, here's tackle 1.
And the Rabbitohs chase well, and they've trapped the Broncos in that left corner.
Hill, that's your second.
Jake Tuss and Dawson Swarm up on their feet for the Rabbitohs on the bench. Look to be warming up, set to come on in the second half. I'm looking down towards the Broncos bench, not much movement at the moment. Lennox Prakash sipping on a water bottle at the moment. Sherry Evans smashing back an orange juice, so they look like they could be set to come on soon as well, as Jai Collins lets it bounce.
That's one. Move.
Icing with danger there a little bit, the captain, but gets the bounce of the ball. Minute and a half remaining until half time. I'm sure the Broncos leadership team will have plenty to say at the break.
He's held there. 3 hands away.
They know how good defensively the South Sydney side is. Early penalty to Justin Plays, but haven't really seen much of their star players, the likes of Michael Crimp. Sam Herbin has been left pretty quiet. Jordan Ford. Hope to see more of them in the second half. As Justin Plays takes it on the bounce, good pick up from the vice captain. Obviously Pete Veretto, the captain tonight, as the siren sounds for half-time. It's 10 points to 2. The Rabbitohs out of front in half-time. Welcome back to Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane for this Wednesday night round 7 clash between the Brisbane Broncos and the South Sydney Rabbitohs, live on SRL TV. Ash Crutcher gets the second half underway. It's the Rabbitohs out in front at the moment, 10 points to 2. Season on the line for the Brisbane Broncos, 40 minutes of rugby ahead of them. They have it all to play for. And they have rung the changes at half-time as well. Justin Plays and Pete Veretto have gone the full hog as Pete Veretto makes a good break up through the middle. Veretto asks Raymond in support, so the Broncos an early opportunity to start the second 40. Cherry Evans off the bench. They'll play it right to Veretto, charging forward. Taken down by Mason Remy. And a good tackle though. A metre out here, the Broncos. Final tackle to Levi Raymond. Are we going to go upstairs? Referee points to the spot, and the Broncos, they score first in the second half. Just talking about the changes they've made. And already Cherry Evans makes an impact at the number 13. We'll go through those changes in a second. As Plays will look to convert around about 15 metres out from the uprights. 18 metres from the try line. Shouldn't have any issues, and he doesn't. So the Broncos bring it back to a 2-point ball game. So Justin Plays and Pete Veretto have made some big changes in the second half. Dan Mason has come on for Jordan Ford. Anthony Delaney for Levi Raymond. Oh no, sorry, I got that wrong. My bad. So Lennox Prakash has come on for Logan Clark. Cherry Evans has come on at the number 13 for Jason Farah. And then a couple of player swatches with Justin Plays and Tyler Weston switching. So Tyler Weston looks like he's moved out to the wing. And Jordan Ford and Pete Veretto have changed positions. So a number of changes for the Broncos as they make Herman a good break. Prakash gets the ball. He's got a lot of way to run. Puts it on the toe. And the Broncos, what a try. Lennox Prakash showing off all the skills. Tomo Mack puts it down. And the Broncos score twice to open the second half. Lennox Prakash didn't think he had the speed to get there, so he put it on the toe at the last minute. I think it was Liam Ryan coming across. But great skills shown by the big front rower. As Plays, tries to make up for with the win, but this time he overcompensates and it passes by the right hand upright this time. So it's the Broncos take back the lead for the second time this evening, 12 points to 10. They open the second half with 2 quick tries in the opening 5 minutes. So we're talking about the Broncos making some changes. The Rabbitohs haven't gone to quite the extent. Jake Tuss has come on for Tellis Rife and Dawson Swarm on for Jason Laumu. So that's a big call, taking off the big Jason Laumu. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see him later on around about the 60-minute mark. Around about that second row or possibly the front row. Tell you what, Sam Herbert has started the second half very well. Lots has been said at half-time by the looks of things. Pete Veretto has been busy. Lennox Prakash, fresh legs off the bench. The Broncos looking the goods at the moment, here to spoil the party. The Rabbitohs looking to make amends. The Raiders will be on the edge of their seats at the moment. As Slattery runs well. One of the Rabbitohs players was taken out there. Looks like it was Aaron O'Hare. The referee says play on. Rabbitohs have maintained possession of the ball.
He's held there. Let him up. 3 back with me.
They come near side. They go cut out pass to Thomas Mendonca, the player that has really struggled for form since probably season 1, you'd have to say, moving to the Eels next season. But really wanted to finish it off with a bang for the Rabbitohs as Crutcher puts it high. It's a deep ball from Ash Crutcher. Herben's going to have to play it. He does well as well, and he gets out of the end goal for the Broncos. Fleet-footed fullback Sam Herben. He's had a great season for the Broncos. And heart in your mouth type stuff.
He's held there. Clear him. 3 hands away.
You can see Pete Veretto in the background just talking to his team.
Hold the 10. Held.
Really trying to encourage some of their young players to get involved and get their hands on the ball. And they've won another penalty here. The Rabbitohs this time looking a little bit sloppy to start the second half, South Sydney.
He's held there. Move. 1. Release.
Back live here on SRL TV. The final game of regular season action. And what a game we have in front of us. It was the Broncos who scored first through a penalty to Justin Plays. Then the Rabbitohs struck back with 2 quick tries. And then it's been all the Broncos in the second half after being down 10 points to 2 at the break. And they have another chance here. Final tackle. Cahill decides to run it. For a moment I thought he was going to kick it, but he's made the wrong decision, you have to say, as the Rabbitohs wrap him up, and they will get possession of the ball.
He's held there. 1. Release. Held. Let him up.
So it's Stranagan now, centre field, looking to make their way out of their own half here as Guys breaks away from the tackle of Pete Veretto. Coda Diab does well to take him down. This time it's Stranagan. Broncos committing a lot of players in defence at the moment. Again, 2 in that tackle. But they are forcing the Rabbitohs to kick from their own half or at the halfway line as Weston returns it. I've definitely started the second half a lot better than they finished the first half, Brisbane.
He's held there. Held. 3.
Just looking down to my right at that Broncos interchange bench. Dan Mason, Stephen Sheldon just eager to get back on the park and stand up for their team. Herben, another good break down this near side on this time as Cahill puts it up. It's a better kick by Jack Cahill. Pete Veretto gets up high for it, bats it back for Sam Herben, but he doesn't have the fleet-footed awareness this time. It's the Rabbitohs, very good defensively, one of the best in the competition, and they've given it away, the Rabbitohs, to the Broncos, with more possession and more territory as Veretto charges through the middle, knocks over 1 tackle, and Pete Veretto looks to have gone in for the Broncos' 3rd try at the second half. What a leader! There was talk about Pete Veretto leaving the Broncos at the end of this season, but he's signed on, and what a signing it will be. One of the standout players in the Simulation Rugby League Premiership, Pete Veretto, crosses for the Broncos. And what a turn of events this has been since the halftime break. His assistant captain converts the kick. The Broncos playing for their home crowd at the moment. 16 points to 0 in the second half. The try scorer, Pete Veretto, takes the hit up, his third try of the season. 6th of his career in the Simulation Rugby League Premiership. Went through season 2 without scoring a try. The Broncos struggling across the park that season. But it's been a different story, and you sort of feel like ever since he was given that leadership role at the Broncos, he's really stepped up and gained a lot of confidence, leading some of those young players around the park. Especially those forwards who, you know, it's not the easiest of game to play rugby league, and at the best of times it can be quite a scary place to be, out in the middle of the park with some big players charging full steam one-on-one, but Pete Veretto really seems to have the skills to lift those younger players, and you see that this season. The Broncos really rising in stocks, and at the moment they are in the front seat to grab that number 4 spot for the season 3 finals. It's Crutcher to kick to the wing of Crimp. He's had a quiet first half, Michael Crimp. Maybe that means he's got a lot left in the tank when needed.
That's your second. He's held there. 3. Hands away.
Jordan Ford back on for his second stint of the game. Had a good first half as Raymond tries to kick for the wing of Michael Crimp. Interesting decision by Levi Raymond, sort of a cross kick, but it's gone out in the full. Yeah, not the outcome he would have wanted, as Crimp almost forced to run up the tunnel. It was that far out. So it's South Sydney to pack down. It'll be Dranigan from the base of the scrum. They go to their fullback, and Liam Ryan, hasn't had the worst of games today, but they've given up the ball. A mistake. I didn't see who it was, but a mistake from the Rabbitohs, coughing up possession in the second tackle, giving the Broncos more options and more possibilities to get deep down to the Rabbitohs half. It's Ford to play the ball. He's had a good second stint. The big front rower. So centre field about 22 out. Tackle 3 is Cahill dummies. Almost gets away from the tackle of Logan Guys. They go to Evans, and Jake Tuss has come away with it. Looks like Jordan Ford was taken out without the ball. Almost starting to think that must be within the rules. As Laumu has made his way onto the park, so I was mentioning at half time that Interesting call to take Jason Laumu off. He's been one of the best performers in the centres for the Rabbitohs this season. As O'Hare kicks early, looking for the 40-20, doesn't quite get the angle right, but Sam Herbin read it well and was back there just in case.
One, release. He's held there. Get off him.
Cahill once again
Held. Two.
dummying to his support player, which was Diab. The Rabbitohs not falling for it. As Farah gets the offload away, but it's gone forward. So a couple of errors from both sides in the last 5 minutes or so. Logan Clark just overrunning that one. The Rabbitohs, another option from the base of the scrum, and Dranigan goes right this time, still to Ryan. It's still no way through for the Rabbitohs star fullback.
He's held there. Up him now. That's his second.
Some have been saying that he hasn't had the best of seasons, Liam Ryan.
3. Back to 10.
But you don't necessarily have to be flashy to have a big impact in your team. And, you know, he's second in the competition for line breaks, 37
Look at me.
for the season. That's behind Chance Bunce as the Broncos get the ball off a similar error from the Rabbitohs this time. But if there's ever a time that the Rabbitohs need Liam Ryan to really step up, it's now.
Going.
They would love to get that extra life by finishing top 2 in the competition. At the moment, they are looking like third or a home semi-final, third or fourth playoff. Another error from the Broncos, again in their own half. This is getting a little bit sloppy. Laumu hands on the ball once again. He could be destructive as this game continues. 67 minutes gone, only 13 minutes remaining here at Suncorp. Jason Laumu will be looking to test out some of those tiring forwards. To Tallis Rife, grabbing an extra couple of metres, driving the legs forward, Rife. They're about 5 metres out here, the Rabbitohs. Final tackle, Crutcher goes high, coming through the Rabbitohs players. Tap back to Liam Ryan. Liam Ryan awfully close, but it's a great tackle by Cherry Evans. Has stopped the Rabbitohs number 1. And the Broncos hold the lead here at home. After all the heroics the Raiders did in the first game, it all could be coming to nothing if the score remains what it is now for the next 11 minutes.
3. Back to 10. He's held there.
Levi Raymond has a busy game tonight, combining well with Cahill, who you'd have to say Jack Cahill seems to have been taking the kicking duties as Cherry Evans makes a good break up that left-hand edge, gets the ball to Jordan Ford, who palms off a defender, eventually taken down by Isaac Edwards. But the Broncos' final tackle, it's Raymond who puts it high, a big opportunity for the Broncos, but it's the Rabbitohs skipper with no fear at all, takes it on the fly, but he's been forced back into the in goal. So the Broncos will get another set on the Rabbitohs line. Under 10 minutes remaining here at Suncorp Stadium, the final game of regular season.
He's held there.
The Broncos leading by 8 at the moment.
Held. That's his second.
15 metres out. They come to Ford. That's Clark. Couple of Rabbitohs defenders take him down. Still 15 out centre field. Diab goes right. Back inside to Sam Herbin. And this dynamic fullback looks to have crossed for the Broncos. Perenara says we'll go upstairs. Sam Herbin. Has he got the ball down? No, he's dropped it. Great tackle coming across. Not sure who it was. No try to the Broncos. Big defence there. Second time we've seen that tonight. So the Rabbitohs keep their hopes alive. 7.5 minutes remaining. Broncos 5-8. Only 5 people picked that the Broncos would win 5-8. Those people are Jason Farah. Oh, sorry, only 4. Jason Farah, Damien Moana, Cody Mansour, he's got another one, and Jack O'Neill. As Laumu busts through the middle. That's what the Rabbitohs need. Final tackle now. Counting down, 6 minutes remaining. Crutcher puts it high. Another good kick by Crutcher, but taken down by Justin Plays. What a take by the assistant captain. Just when you need your captain to step up, Veredo did it on attack. Plays has done it on defence. And the Broncos, are they set to make the SRL finals for the second time? Raymond through the middle. Tireless all night, Levi Raymond, the Kiwis captain, stepping up. Mack at dummy half. They go to Diab. Diab kicks on the 4 that's come up the side of the boot. I don't think Coda Diab will be doing that again, not known for his kicking. As Ryan slices through the Broncos defence. Into the red zone he goes. So the Bunnies, what have they got with minutes counting down? A Swarm playing on that right edge. They're 10 out here. Tackle 3, they go long. Flatto here. Rife, the Broncos defence pushing up hard. It's Coda Diab. Sam Herban. Figure flat to Laumu. Jason Laumu buds off one. But the Broncos defence is strong and they look to have held him up. He's made a great impact off the bench. He won't be successful there. But they've still got 1 tackle remaining. They go to Crutcher. He goes to the right this time. Good chase by the Rabbitohs. But again, the Broncos outside backs do well under the high ball. Tom O'Mac takes it inside the in goal. And they're out to the 20 for the restart. So a 7 tackle set. 3 minutes remaining, you'd have to say. The Broncos have got this one wrapped up with an 8-point lead. The Rabbitohs needing to score twice. The Raiders will be absolutely heartbroken. They go to Cahill once again, testing out that Rabbitohs defence. Throwing the dummy, it's Logan Guys once again, doesn't fall for it. That's Clark. Final tackle now, the Rabbitohs, the Broncos will have to kick from just inside the Rabbitohs half, down to the wing of Jackson Cutler. Had a quiet game so far on that right edge for the Bunnies. Their final set possibly. The Rabbitohs, they haven't been able to do the business tonight. They will finish in 3rd. It's the Broncos. After being leapfrogged by the Raiders only an hour ago, they will clinch 4th position in the Season 3 SRL Finals. It'll be a rematch next week. The Broncos will take on the Rabbitohs. The Cowboys will take on the Sea Eagles. The SRL semi-finals as the siren sounds here at Suncorp Stadium. It's the Broncos with the win at home, beating the Rabbitohs 18 points to 10. Booked themselves a final berth. What a performance. A second half to remember. After being down 10 points to 2, 16 unanswered points in that second half. Tries to Levi Raymond, Pete Veretto and Jordan Ford. And welcome back to the SRL finals, the Brisbane Broncos. Completing 20 out of 29 sets, 10 errors for the Broncos, mainly conceded in that first half. The Rabbitohs a lot better, 21 out of 26. The Rabbitohs forced to make a lot more tackles in that second half, and you have to say they were just run down and too tired in that final 40 minutes. We hope you've enjoyed this final game for the regular season of the Simulation Rugby League. It's been an absolute blast. But once again, we are down to the final four. Next week, the Season 3 semi-finals. It's the Manly Sea Eagles taking on the North Queensland Cowboys. And it's the South Sydney Rabbitohs to take on the Brisbane Broncos, live here on SRL TV. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you then.